WTF is your deal, bitch? Very eloquently stated. Can you put that in an email to me? This video is a blend of science and stupid. All issues which have been discussed on the Joe Rogan podcast, of which I am a fan. Only two things make me cry in life. David Goggins' powerful words on the JRE and the unstable squat. Sorry, the mentally unstable squat. That's better. And so with Pavel Tsatsouline, you don't have to agree with all of his ideas. Indeed, most likely you're going to agree with some stuff he says and disagree with some stuff he says. The point is the discussion that he had on the Rogan podcast is a thought-provoking source of fitness discourse.
If you decide to do barbell squats, you know for a fact that you're going to jump higher, you're going to run faster, you're going to hit harder, and so on and so forth. If you decide to go leg extensions, you can be sure that you're going to get better at leg extensions.
And so Pavel mentions the squat in the podcast and he relates it to performance goals such as running and jumping. And then we have people such as Dr. Steffi Cohen who can give very good information in relation to the squat and strength development, for example. But there is a huge disconnect between, for example, those valid sources of information and the most visible people we see giving nonsense on the social misleader. Introducing Gracie and Barbosa. This topic is awkward. Come inside, make yourself uncomfortable. 2 stars is about right for that performance. I think the railing is for your hand. Can someone please teach Mrs. Barbosa how to use railings and ledges? Not him. Talking of which, many people are letting me know that this is happening right now. Just shut your eyes and think of Valhalla. They're pushing hard right now to drive people to their website to purchase their program. Mrs. Barbosa is giving causation between the squat exercise and other exercises and this result. And that's what we call a mistake on the scorecards. A barbell back squat absolutely has the potential to significantly grow your glute muscle. But muscle growth happens in proportion to your frame. And I have a science-based video on this where I discuss factors such as your bone muscle fiber ratios and other perhaps determinants of your growth potential. However, be clear that this visible representation and causation is a bastardization of what the squat can achieve. Bustin Rhymes over here. This is the illusion industry, and many people fall foul to it, and many people waste their money on products related to it. The reality is implants or other ways of artificially enhancing the look of the glutes. It could also be Photoshop lighting and angles, or a mixture of all of them. When the aliens come, good luck explaining this phenomenon to them. But relax, this is not a pyramid scheme. It does involve some sketchy spotting. However, I was gonna use the word questionable spotting, but after about 19 takes, I still couldn't say it. I still probably can't say it. So let's go with the word sketchy. And after closer inspection of this photo, I can confirm that the toenail was offside. Behave yourself, sir, eh? Part of being a personal trainer, is it?
Wink, wink.
And at this point, I would like to thank those of you who watched my last video, The Oil Boys of Fitness. This part is not completely unrelated. Can we bring back integrity to exercises, please? Not the failed filter of the illusion industry, where, for example, the squat will be related to factors such as accurate muscle growth goals, strength development, and performance factors, for example.
I like the idea of very minimalist general strength protocols that just have pretty much a hip hinge and the press.
So let's enter the kettlebell. Pavel Tsatsouline, that's easy for me to say, currently uses a minimalist approach to training. 2 exercises, the kettlebell swing and a chest dip, a hip hinge and a press. And here's what he had to say about it.
But for the last several years, pretty much has been nothing but swings and dips, just one of my protocols. It's a very particular anti-glycolytic protocol.
Why that combination?
I would argue that the swing is the most beneficial exercise anybody can do because you will, again, you're training power, you're training your fast fibers, you're developing mitochondria in the fast fibers, you are training your connective tissues, and you're getting your cardio as well.
If you could perform only 2 exercises in your training, what would they be? And so the benefit of that activity was not that I expect you to only perform 2 exercises in your training, but to get you thinking about the issues surrounding exercise selection and why you are performing the exercises that you choose. For example, how many muscles are you working in an exercise, the movement patterns performed, the old bang for your buck. Talking of which, Happy New Year. My vision is not 2020, but this jacket is a no thank you. And so this thought process may help you to cut away some of the fat in your training sessions, to streamline your training sessions, whilst maintaining your effectiveness in relation to your desired results. And so here's one very quick example for you. Now, this is not my unique example. This is something that is very commonly discussed in fitness circles, and it's the front raise, which hits the anterior deltoid as the prime mover, the agonist muscle of that exercise. The agonist muscles within an exercise are the main mover muscles, the lead actor, if you will. Many of you may already be working the anterior deltoid, the old front shoulder, throughout many of your sessions, with many of your pushing exercises on your pushing days, for example, using, for example, the incline bench press, where of course the upper chest is the main mover, but also that anterior deltoid gets some loving. And then the military press, where of course the deltoids again are the agonists, the main movers. The lats, them wings, are the antagonists. The antagonist muscle works against the agonist muscle, the supporting actor. When the agonist muscle works and contracts, the antagonist relaxes, lazy, or it opposes the agonist. And then you have the synergistic muscles such as the upper traps. And you can think of these muscles as the glue of the exercise, where these muscles stabilize the joint or joints around which the movement is performed. And so you may now consider whether indeed it is efficient for you to include a front raise as part of your training schedule if you are indeed sufficiently working the anterior deltoid through other movements. Is this extra time you are spending isolating this muscle going to give you unique and significant increases in muscle mass? These are the sorts of questions you may ponder upon your cup of coffee in the morning. And by the way, if you're unsure what the word minimalist means, it's the level of critical thinking amongst fitness fanboys when I make fun of the fitness information that their fitness hero is projectile vomiting. The real heroes are the people grinding in the gym week after week without the camera pointed at them, without the limelight, without the thousands of likes, clicks and shares, and without the misleading sales tactics to make those dollar bills. You have my respect, not the potatoes of the social misleader with their social encyclopedia of redundant product placement, circus tricks, and cringeworthy motivational quotes under a picture of them mopping sweat off their brow. Common sense buffering. I'm never clicking on one of your videos again. Neither am I. Frenzies?